Please join us in welcoming Senior Vice President of Merchandising and Innovation at Alaska Airlines, Charu Jain, in conversation with Skift Airline Weekly editor Edward Russell.
Well, hello again, everybody. Second time up here. I'd like to welcome Charu Jain from Alaska Airlines.
Thank you.
She is going to tell us about everything distribution and merchandising and all those fun things. So I think as we all travel these days, we are all living in our apps, on our phones. Like, the digital world is all encompassing, and we sort of, we're there first, I mean, for better or worse, and in the real world second. So I'm curious, at Alaska Airlines, what does digital first mean for you guys? How do you tap into that ecosystem that travelers are living in?
Great. Well, first of all, thank you for having me here. It's been a great event right now, this morning, and last night at dinner. So, Alaska is known for its award-winning customer service and for really taking care of our guests and our employees. So what does digital first mean? And it's really about creating these digital experiences that deliver on the promise of care, value, and ease in the very same way that our employees actually deliver that to our guests. And for our guests, it's all about choice. So guests can choose whether they want to do everything themselves or they actually want to talk to one of our caring agents and to have them take care of them. And for our employees, digital first is really about giving them mobile tools to do their jobs better, giving them decision support tools to run a great operation, and then really most importantly, giving them real-time data and insights that allow them to do the right thing for the guest and take care of the guests. Just last week, I was talking to one of our guests, and she said, well, I got on this flight, and the flight attendant came up to me and said, 2 weeks ago you were traveling and you had a challenging day, and I'm really sorry about that, and I'd like to make it up to you. And to say the least, she was shocked that this one flight attendant on this flight knew what had happened to her 2 weeks ago out of 6,000 flight attendants and really wanted to do something, and that was a delight. And that's really about how do we, provide those capabilities to our employees to take care of our guests. So I would say digital first is really people first and guest first for us.
Nice. I mean, and you make a great point there. I fly a lot. And the truth is when the flight attendant comes up and just says, "Thank you, Mr. Russell, for flying with us today," it means something. And I know that it's something that comes through on their app or their tablet, but it is such a nice touch point for the customer and everything.
It creates a connection point
that
really
you may
not have otherwise.
It really does. So one of the big things that Alaska is doing, sort of in creating a better customer experience, is you're redoing your lobbies. So this is a $2.5 billion broad airport investment, and it really involves just sort of speeding up. I think you were telling me, like, making sure people can get through the check-in, bag drop, security in like 5 minutes and stuff. Tell us a bit more about this. What is, how are you reinventing that experience?
It's my favorite subject, by the way. We're really reimagining the day of travel experience, keeping care top of mind. So why lobbies? And our research showed that it's a point of friction and a point of anxiety for our guests. Nobody wants to hang around in the lobby. They all want to get through the lobby to security, get through security, and then get to the other side and relax, enjoy the airport, get to the gate.
Check to make sure your plane's there before you go get food.
Before you go to the gate. When you get a boarding message, somebody has already boarded, so then you know the plane's there. But when we looked at that friction point, airports are getting more congested, and our guests just don't have a good sense of how long will it take for me to check in and drop my bag. So we took on this bold goal of getting guests through the lobby in 5 minutes or less. And to do that, we had to really look at every technology, every process, every role in the lobby, all guest behaviors, and see what needs to change. And the $2.5 billion investment is part of our improvements overall at the airports and our hubs and focus cities, but also across many other places. The technology in the airports is 25 years old. And Alaska was the first one to innovate and put kiosks in the airport, and so we're now innovating again and being the first to remove kiosks out of the airport.
I mean, you're talking about 1998 technology.
Exactly. We all loved it,
yes.
But it's time to move on because we have this phone in our hand, right? With the adoption of smartphones, it's really easy to give a more simplified experience in the lobby. So there's 3 parts to this. The first is, how do we get our guests travel ready? So when we saw what guests are doing in the lobby, the only thing you need to do in the lobby is to drop a bag. That's the only thing that absolutely needs to be done in the lobby. But you know, people go to the lobby, they're checking, they're printing their boarding pass, they're changing seats and everything. So travel ready is all about how do we get guests to check in before they get to the airport. Everything that you want to do other than drop bag, you can do on this phone. So getting travel ready is having peace of mind, checking in before you get to the airport. And for some reason, if there's a problem, you can contact Res through chat. You know that you're going to need more time. So it just gives you that peace of mind. And I'll talk about how that's going in a little bit. When you get to the airport, we have streamlined the process to be, we've created these new iPad-based bag tag stations. Okay. So guests can go and simply, they can scan their mobile boarding pass, their digital boarding pass, or paper, and it prints out the bag tags. I mean, that's all you can do. And if for some reason you didn't add a bag or pay for it, you can do that. So it just does one thing. It's about bags and nothing else. And then next year, and we were also the first airline to introduce electronic bag tags last year. And so if you have an electronic bag tag, you don't even need to do that step. So you can totally bypass that step. And then next year, we're introducing self-service technology to drop your bag. So today you have to get in line to see an agent. Tomorrow you'll have the choice to do that, see an agent, or drop the bag yourself. And it'll be, you can place your bag on the belt, it'll check your ID against your facial image, and then the bag will be inducted in. So a self-service capability. It's been used widely, I would say, in Europe and Australia.
I was going to say, I think
in the US.
Yeah, looking at this thing, I think I've done something like that, similar to that in Europe, traveling. Yes. So, yeah.
So that's, and then the third part is really about going back to our caring agents, right? Our agents all have mobile tools, so they're available to help the guests wherever they are. So the guest doesn't have to get out of line if they're running into an issue. They can actually remotely help them or come over and help them. So how's it going?
Yes.
All of this is about changing guest behavior and having our agents believe that this is something that's going to help them. So what we're seeing is 80% of our guests are now coming in checked in to the airport.
Wow, 80%.
80%.
Wow.
So 4 out of 5 people coming to the airport where we've deployed this new technologies are coming in checked in. I mean, that just takes a lot of anxiety and work out of the lobby right there. When people are getting their bag tags, the transaction average is 45 seconds. So what we noticed is with the older kiosks, people would spend 2 to 3 minutes, and now it's like 45 seconds.
Wow. And
you scan your thing and the tags come out, and the guests they almost feel like they've missed a step or something. It's so fast.
Yes.
And 90% of the boarding passes being scanned are digital. And obviously having a digital boarding pass is so much better than having a paper one, but if somebody wants to have a paper one, they can.
Right. I think my mom still prefers a paper one.
A paper one. So I think that these are all part of really getting to that 5 minutes or less, and we're shaving minutes off of every step and really giving more peace of mind and predictability for our guests to get through that lobby.
I mean, that sounds great. As a father who travels with 2 small children, any way to speed up that process is much appreciated, very much appreciated. So one of the things about the whole lobby reinvention that stuck out to me is you talk about sort of enabling agents to get out from behind the desk and be around. So I've got a little experience here with it, unfortunately not with Alaska. We'll leave the airline unnamed, but traveling with my 5-year-old, it's the dock check. Mm-hmm. When you try to check on the app, it just never seems to verify. So I'm always going to the counter and have to dock check. How are you making something like that, a harried parent that just wants to get through this, speed this up? How are you addressing issues like that where there's just sort of some hiccup in the process?
Yeah, I think it's very important for our agents and frontline agents to spend time with people that need more help, whether families traveling together, if you have pets or other special needs. So the check-in experience is easy because you can do that on the app for both your kids. Getting the bags is easy. It's really getting that doc verification for international trips or for dropping the bag. And so we've introduced Mobile Verify as a technology that will help with, you set up that and you then allow the airline to use it. But with kids, what we find the easiest thing is when you're checking in and when you have your bag tag, the agent is right there with you and they have a mobile app.
Yep.
And they can actually verify and mark it right there along with you. So you don't actually have to get in line to see an agent.
Oh, good,
While you're getting your bag tags, they can do that at the same time.
Nice. So the agent can come to you while I'm printing out my tags and
then they can verify the IDs of the kids and do it. And then also for bag drop, we're looking at families traveling together. How do we make it easy? So it's not like, oh, this bag belongs to kid number 1 and this bag is checked with kid number 2. How do we make it easy to check all the IDs and then just put all the bags on the belt?
Oh, that's good. That's good. I try to put as many bags under my name and try not to have it under everyone's name.
Yes.
But yeah, okay, all right, that's good. Yeah, having the agent come and actually check that eliminates that step as someone has to do it. So you mentioned the app. I want to get to employees, but let's talk about customers. We all live in our app when we travel, and I talked about that initially. What is Alaska doing to keep people engaged in on the app? Again, it's a revenue you're improving customer service, but it's a revenue opportunity to add ancillaries. What is Alaska doing to sort of keep people in the app and keep coming back?
Yeah, I think the adoption of the smartphone, everybody is using phones now. So whether you have the app or you just want to use your phone, so we're, providing opportunities for both. I think obviously check-in and getting ready, checking in. We're now notifying people if they haven't checked in 4 hours ahead, sending them an SMS. So they really don't even have to have the app. It's just on their phone. And that's really driving some of that check-in numbers to be high. Our Mobile Verify program with digital identity has been launched using the mobile phone. And the app, the electronic bag tags are really, synced in with the app and the phone. So we're using it all of those ways. We just introduced getting to the in-flight Wi-Fi through the app. So sometimes it's hard to tell how to get to the Wi-Fi. And so you can get it directly now through the apps. And we're looking at other opportunities in flight. A few things that are coming that I'm really excited about is, Alaska joined One World 2 years ago.
Yes.
And we really want to provide a very seamless experience across the partners. Right. And so we're testing right now with American Airlines, our One World partner, on if you have an Alaska and an American segment, it doesn't matter, you can use any one of our apps and you'll get the boarding pass for both carriers.
Nice.
So things like that'll make it easy. And then really, what people need for the whole journey is bags. So we're in beta. We're beta testing bag tracking.
Oh, excellent.
With internally and with a closed group of our guests, and that'll be coming out really soon. And along with bag tracking, we're also looking at if your bag does get misplaced, how to make that less painful in the way of, today you wait for your bag, it doesn't come out, so you've already lost probably 20 minutes because of our 20-minute bag guarantee. And then you go stand in line for the baggage service office and do all of that. So we're going to be offering self-service claim. So right away, if you're notified your bag is not there, you don't need to wait at the baggage claim and get in line. And you can put all of that information, and then we'll deliver that back for you. So those things are coming soon.
Excellent. Bag tracking has become such a big differentiator, especially I remember last summer, and this was in Alaska, but people losing bags in Europe. I even had an experience where I misconnected and the one agent said your bag will come out, another didn't, and it was just, all right, I'm going to sit here for an hour, and it magically showed up. But if I'd had bad tracking, that would have made the experience so much better. So Flip side of that, how are you using technology to enable employees? You already talked about the example of being on board and the agent coming up to the traveler and being like, we're sorry about this situation a few weeks ago. I mean, what other investments are you doing to enable staff to use technology?
Yeah, we early on made an investment to provide mobile tools to all our frontline. So whether you're an agent at the airport, you're a ramp agent, a pilot, a flight attendant, a mechanic, you have a mobile tool. And so the experience that you have with using those tools is very intuitive, right? It's not the old screen. It's very intuitive. It's made for their job. So first thing is, how do we make sure that they can do their jobs easily? And then providing them the data and insights I talked about so that they can actually connect with the customer, not just at that touch point, but understand the full ecosystem of that customer. Another thing that we did is connecting them together. So it's all about, yes, you're a flight attendant and you have your tools, but how do you connect around the departure of a flight? So we call it team messaging. And I call the whole process like a flash mob. You know, when a flight's leaving, like people just appear, they do their job, and then they go away. So we connect all our employees that are part of that departure process together through their mobile tools. And so they can discuss like, you know, okay, boarding is started, or bags, I don't have any more room. Or if a delay is there, they're in touch with our operations center and they can give them the information of if there's a delay, why there is, so they can share it with the guests. Yeah. So that's been a really powerful tool, putting that in the hands of the employees and using what they have to really connect them together in that ecosystem of that flight departing. Right. So those are some examples.
Oh, I mean, that's fantastic. Especially when there's a delay, you want the staff member there to be able to give you the latest information, especially with the myriad of tools elsewhere, like flight radar and stuff that people can be checking.
Exactly.
So, nice. So, one aspect of your job is also distribution. Mm-hmm. And, this is something I chatted with Robert Isom of American a little bit earlier, but, what is Alaska doing on, direct connecting with bypassing some of the traditional GDSs? What is Alaska doing on that front? What's happening there?
Yes, distribution is going through, is so much evolution going on in that space, especially in the US. And in my role, I have both direct and indirect distribution, so really get to see the customers across every channel and why do they buy, where they do, and what things they're looking for. So, I think the last panel was about modern retailing, and I think it's what all airlines want to become now. And it's very important to make sure that our products are presented to our guests in the way that makes them, easy to make a choice. So we're on that journey of modern retailing, and we're on the journey of NDC, yes, and focused on directly connecting with our OTA partners first, and then obviously working with the GDSs and to connect with our TMC partners. So I think this is going to be the next big thing for this industry, is really getting out of the old ways of how we sell tickets and really moving into becoming a modern retailer.
I mean, you're right. I have to say, it's been talked about for years. I'm waiting to see it happen in more instances, but yes.
I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I don't think it's a train, so.
Good, excellent. Well, we've got an audience question here, and I'm curious what your thought is on this. But what is Alaska's biggest competitive differentiator?
Oh, that's easy. It's our people. I think our people are our magic sauce, secret sauce, and the way they take care of our guests and they care about each other is just something that cannot be, copied or duplicated even in digital. So it's really all about how do we empower them to do the right thing and take care of the guests. And so if you take care of them, they take care of the guests. So it's our people. Nice.
It's so true. A happy employee means a happy customer, and as they say.
Yes.
So another question from the audience on bags, or sorry, beyond bags. What is what other investment or growth opportunities do you see pre-trip in other ways? Yeah.
We really look at the mobile app as a mobile companion, so it's there with you through the whole experience. And the experience is not just about the airport or about the flight, it's home to home. So how do we, get people ready for their travel, but also help them getting to the airport? enjoying the airport, the retail experience, and being able to spend their time as they want. I think time's become such a valued currency.
It's for sure.
So, and then on the other side, how do we connect them, within the airport, and then how do we connect them to the hotel or the transportation? So really that end-to-end journey,
Right.
and being a part of it. And then obviously with loyalty, really how do we have them engage more with our loyalty partners? So those are some of the areas of investment.
Have you embedded anything like Uber or rideshare or anything in the app? Do you have embedded there, or is it how? Yeah, tell me.
Yeah, not right now,
No,
but that's
okay.
the vision,
All
is really creating that whole home-to-home experience within the app.
Nice. That'll be very exciting when that comes to pass. Well, Charu, I want to say thank you so much for joining us on stage. It's lovely to have you here, and I can't wait to see those lobbies as they're built
Yes,
out.
please try them out. Well, thank you. Thank you for being here.